Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing my Q&A introduction video. I got my tea with me and I got all the questions that you guys oof, that was so dirty. Oh my
Disgusting!
Okay, now that I've cleaned my disgusting screen, I'm going to be getting started. First question is movies that inspire my aesthetic. I took this question as like my style because there's not really a movie character or anything that I'm like trying to be. So first I wrote Stealing Beauty because I absolutely adore Liv Tyler, just her style in that movie. Simplistic, simple dresses. It kind of looks very vintage. I absolutely love her as an actress, and I love every style she kind of portrays in every single movie, but particularly in that movie, just like the shots of her in the meadows and in her little sundresses, I think I get a lot of inspiration from. And this question was kind of hard because I more so resonate with actresses than particular movies. So I wrote down Gia, Angelina Jolie, and it's not that I'm trying to be a, drug addict model, but oh my god, her character in that movie, she's absolutely gorgeous. I love how she is this new wave of beauty in the movie, like everyone during that time was so used to every model looking the same, which it was, thin and blonde and girly or feminine, and then Gia comes along and she has this edgy style, the jet black hair and this major attitude, and that's what I absolutely love. Like, no matter how much I tried to be feminine or delicate and dress in like pastels and stuff, I have a major attitude and I absolutely love the way Gia kind of represents the same thing. Angelina Jolie in every single movie I feel represents that, like in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So beautiful, and she always, you would assume she's gonna play some delicate girl in every single movie, but she's always playing a character that you would not expect, and I really love that of her, and I take that aesthetic in everything I do. Love how she just kind of empowers women in every single movie that she's in. More movies that inspire my aesthetic are 100% Disney. An example is my wall in the back that you can see. Basically, I absolutely love Disney, anything Disney princesses, especially Tangled, Enchanted, and then I really love the styles and aesthetics of Ella Enchanted. I love the fantasy and the big dresses and princess, like, it's simple as that. Next question is, where did I grow up? So I grew up in Southern California. I still live here, and I honestly don't see myself ever leaving California. Someone asked me, what is my comfort food? My comfort food is anything homemade. Carbs, so bread, cheese, anything that's like warm and you would eat around Thanksgiving. She's not a vegetarian. What's my favorite thing to put on to get cozy? Okay, I have like a whole ritual when I want to get cozy, because I probably take one day out of the week to dedicate to just be cozy. I will take a hot steaming shower, play certain music. I have a playlist dedicated to like relaxation, and it has like Damien Rice, Hosier, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Hosier, I don't know. Big Thief, my friend got me into. I love to just make sure my environment and my body is clean, and then I like to light a candle, lavender or vanilla, nothing too harsh. And then I like to get in bed with my blankets. I have a little, you can probably see I'm pointing right here, it's a little like cozy bin. My boyfriend, he made the Animal Crossing box. You can see. And I get a blanket and I just curl up on my bed and I either play Animal Crossing or watch my shows with my sister. My perfume suggestions. Now, for the longest time, I just used like Victoria's Secret sprays. And that was until my boyfriend got me this new perfume for my birthday. He got me this one. It is Oh So Fresh by Marc Jacobs, the Daisy collection. Where do I shop? Okay, and this is a hard one because I've never had like a set brand or a set store that I always go to. I'm the type of person that if I see something cute, I'll get it. If it's at Walmart or if it's at the mall, I don't care. I honestly do not care. I am a very cheap person. I don't like spending money on things, especially clothes, if it's over like $40 to $50. I shop Romwe. I am the type of person that just likes to wear, you know, simple shirts. Like I got this shirt on Romwe, just like a simple little butterfly shirt. Simple dresses. Everyone makes fun of me and says that my dresses look like nightgowns, and they probably are, but I don't care. Also, I find some things on Amazon, like my knee-high socks. Another place that I get my clothes at when it comes to more expensive things, Depop or Urban Outfitters, but mainly Depop, because if I'm going expensive, I usually look for vintage. So someone asked me my dream car, and that's another fun fact about me, as I don't drive. My dream car would probably be a 1962 Volkswagen Bug, and that's probably the only car that I know by name because I know nothing about cars. Someone asked me where I would like to travel. I just had a conversation with my boyfriend about this. We talked about how after we're done with school and in the future we want to like travel across the USA. And I recently went to Utah, and it was so eye-opening because I would never in a million years think that I would go to Utah. And it was so beautiful. Like, there was so much wildlife, so many moments where animals just randomly approached us, like on the highway, and at a restaurant 2 deer came down up to everybody eating. So yeah, like I want to travel everywhere, but mainly I have Sicily as number 1 on my list because my boyfriend is half Sicilian and that's like his dream, and once I did my research, it looks like a dream there. I want to go to New York. I have 2 really good friends of mine who live there, so I'd love to see them and just, you know, sightsee. I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Oregon. I just want to go everywhere. So somebody asked me why I want to start a YouTube channel. I have a very set range of interests and styles and music and fashion, and I feel that I've met so many people online that also share those same similar interests, and so I thought, like, well, maybe if I can make some YouTube videos, I can connect with more people and I can, you know, incorporate what I learn in school about self-care and about myself and my relationship and my friendships on YouTube, and make it so that people can share and relate and talk about it. So speaking of self-care, somebody asked me how I feel more put together. This is an important question because right now, especially, and at my age, and I'm sure, you know, everybody in the world right now, it's so weird and it's so strange, and it almost feels like time doesn't even exist. I have a lot of goals and a lot of priorities, and I kind of feel like due to the pandemic, everything was kind of put at a stop. Naturally, I'm gonna feel unmotivated like a lot of us are feeling, very unmotivated and tired and just weirded out. The way I feel more put together is I straight up just pamper myself mentally and physically. I take a whole day to just recharge. I take long showers. I make sure that I feel good. I put on a pretty dress. I do my makeup. I fix my hair, even when I don't have a reason to, just because it makes me feel put together. I like to just jot down a list of things I need to get done. I like to keep a planner. This is my little elephant planner. Every single day I'll write down what I need to get done. Usually it's so much homework. And if I complete that, I'll give myself a little sticker. To physically check off those goals that you've written down is the most satisfying thing of my day. So one person in particular asked me 5 questions. Do you love your sister? What is a Mickey sister? Tell us a good memory with your sister. Are you close to your sister? And who is your best friend? Obviously, this was my sister asking all these questions. My sister is like my best friend. Like, I'm not gonna lie. We're probably each other's best friend. And it can be problematic at times because we'll cancel plans left and right just to stay home and crawl into my bed and watch our show like all day long. And when she asked me what a Mickey sister is, that's basically something we made up, I guess. It's just, okay, hear me out. We're obsessed with Disney. Like, I think I already made that clear, as full-blown Disneyland is like in back of me right now. I forgot what was going on, but basically, like, she gets mad sometimes when I go and I make plans that'll last all day because, like I said, we literally spend our whole life just sitting in my bed watching our shows. She said, she's like, Jasmine, like, stay home, like, come on, we're Mickey sisters. I don't expect it to make sense to you. Somebody asked me how I would describe my aesthetic. I like to say that I go by seasons. So when it's fall, that's when I'm more in touch with my darker aesthetic. I love witches. I love doing my tarot cards. I love my crystals. I love anything, witchy.
I'm the love witch.
I used to dress very dark. I used to only wear black. You might not believe me now. On the other hand, when it's summertime, I really love to dress and have an aesthetic of like a beachy girl. I should have said this when it came to movies, but aquamarine, that is like summer go-to aesthetic. She really thought she was aquamarine. Like, when I said aquamarine is my summer aesthetic, I bought blue hair.
That sounds, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Then once spring rolls around and I've calmed down, I tag my pictures with like fairycore, cottagecore. I feel like that's kind of the main aesthetic that ties everything together, because I would say that my aesthetic is very based off of nature and fantasy and fairy-like.
Oh no, sweetie, you need to, well, maybe if you...
So somebody asked me my hobbies. I have free time, and that's kind of rare. I love to play Animal Crossing, for one. I love to make picture collages. I really want to get into scrapbooking because that's basically the same thing. And also, I love to sing and I love to write poetry. Maybe one day I'll post a cover, probably not because I'm shy. Speaking of singers, somebody asked me when I first discovered Lana Del Rey and what has her influence been on me. This is an important question because, like I said, when I said that I have like this group of people that I relate to so much, I feel like we are all kind of tied together by Lana Del Rey.
Well,
Many of us, I discovered Lana when I was, I want to say 12 or 13. I can't say that she's had the best influence on me my whole life, but she's taught me a lot about being emotional, being a woman. I'm not gonna lie, like many people say that her music is a bad influence because she sings about things like domestic abuse, drugs, strippers, being depressed, wanting to die.
That's so crazy!
For me, I fell in love with her so much just because of how authentic her music is. It's not like she sings about those things and she's happy or proud of them. It's like she shows, what she's really gone through and her true emotions about everything. Being into poetry, when I was younger, I dealt with depression, I dealt with anxiety, I dealt with heartbreak. And I always felt like I had an old soul. I always felt like I didn't really connect with anybody in high school. Didn't have that many friends. I have had one boyfriend my whole life. And so Lana is singing about having one lover and feeling alone. Gosh, I swear that woman reads my diary. Somebody asked me, what is my least favorite season? I've come to appreciate every single season equally. We take seasons very seriously in my house. I decorate crazy. I listen to Christmas music early. I want to do everything that fits the season. So, I want to go apple picking in fall. I want to go to Big Bear Mountain when it's winter. I want to throw a big Easter party and decorate the house all flowery and pastel for spring. That's why I love Animal Crossing so much, because it's like it matches my mood as my go-to song. Every single month I will write down one song that I constantly listen to, and I put it in an album on my Spotify of that age I am. So let's say for when I was 20. Started from June and I went all the way down to my birthday, my 21st birthday. And so I made what I called like an album of my year. And so for every month there was one single song that really stood out to me. I play it back on my birthday just to kind of like reflect on my whole year. So right now for September, my go-to song is Mary by Big Thief. Really common questions. What is my favorite movie? Tangled and Bambi, Gia, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Prisoners with Jake Gyllenhaal. Favorite TV shows? My favorite show is on YouTube. It's called Brave Wilderness and it's with Coyote Peterson. And this is what me and my boyfriend watch every single night. And it's basically this man, Coyote Peterson, he goes around and he just looks for a bunch of different animals and teaches you about them.
I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
My favorite books. Okay, the Twilight Saga, easy. These giant Ferriopolis books, and this is by Cicely Mary Barker. This is where my aesthetic comes from, honestly. Somebody asked me characters I identify with. Rapunzel from Tangled. I feel like my whole life is as a teenager, I was a homebody, I was an introvert, and it's not that I really wanted to be, I just felt like I couldn't do anything. And it reminded me of that song where she's just going around like listing her everyday routine, and that's how I felt. I had the same routine every day, like chores, homework, until she got the guts to finally live a little bit and go out. I had very strict parents. It wasn't until she found a guy to take her out into the world, and I always tell my boyfriend, like, he's my Flynn Rider because he came with a car and now we go everywhere. And it's so funny because, my first dates and everything, I felt like that scene where she was like freaking out but yet so excited.
I'm a horrible daughter.
And then another character that I've resonated with my whole life, and that ties into my favorite cartoon, is Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls. I made it my Instagram name, so yeah, that's where that comes from. The whole concept of that show is supposed to be cute, but she is so mean. And she's the one who's like always picking on her friends and like her sister, and that is me. Somebody asked me if I collect anything. Recently, I've been trying to collect little fairy figurines because I want to make a fairy garden in my backyard. So another girl that asked me, who's your best friend? A couple times. That would be my best friend, Alita Simone. And it's so weird saying Alita because like no one calls her that in real life. But anyways, So my best friend is Simone. Many of you may know her on Instagram as well. We met when I think she was 15 and I was 16. And we met online. Basically, like, we just saw each other's Instagrams and we thought, wow, like, we're scarily alike. We like the same music, we like the same movies, we like the same shows, pretty much everything. So we just clicked. And from then, we just started talking every day. Eventually, we FaceTimed every single day. And then we planned to meet. So we just spent Christmas together and we met in real life. It was like a movie. She got super close to my family. She stayed with me for almost a month and it was the best time. Like, it made me realize that you can never limit yourself to the people you grew up with or the people in your town, because I feel that she's my soulmate when it comes to best friends. That's my girl. Okay, this question is gonna make me emotional. How did you and your boyfriend meet? Okay, so here's a story for you. I met my boyfriend when I was 13. In 8th grade English class. We were each other's biggest crushes, even though we had not spoken one word to each other. I still to this day remember we sat directly across from each other on the opposite sides of the classroom, and I had a friend on my right side and he had a friend on his left side, so it worked out because we'd be staring at each other when we were pretending that we were listening to them. And one day the teacher told us that we had to switch with someone to grade our tests, and so, you know, we were staring at each other, so he asked me, he's like, do you want to grade my test? And I was like, yeah. Like, are you kidding me? So I graded his test, he graded mine. We both failed that test because that class was a mess. And then he wrote a note on the back of that test, or actually I think it was after class he gave me a note. I don't know, we were weird. We were quiet. We were the quiet kids. And then after that, it was so weird because the teacher would randomly, you know, pass out papers for us to grade, and we would always get each other's until eventually, like, we just started talking. And then from that moment on, I was, what, 13? Yeah, 13. We exchanged phone numbers, and then we grew up together because I'm still with him. He's my only boyfriend that I've ever had, my first boyfriend. I'm his first girlfriend. And yeah, now we're both 21. We're still together.
By 6? Fucking 6.
Somebody asked me my biggest inspiration. Angelina Jolie. Not just because she's gorgeous, but just because I feel that she's been a very empowering and realistic celebrity. I just think that it's really respectable of her to use her fame for good. I know that she travels a lot of places to donate and to adopt. Are so inspiring to be humble and to always come back down to earth and realize like what you have and what you really need to appreciate. Another inspiration is a professor I actually had, and this woman is like one of the best people I've ever met. She basically just taught how possible anything is. She was a very vocal teacher about her background and her life struggles. She unlocked so many doors, not only in like my educational journey, my mentality of my future and my life. She was the one person that made me realize like this is really what I want to do, and I really love this topic of psychology and advocacy and awareness. So a few people asked, what is my favorite Lana song? And I know if you're a die-hard Lana fan like I am, that's not a simple question because this woman has like a billion unreleased songs. And honestly, I feel like their moods. Like if I'm depressed, I'm gonna be listening to Ultraviolence and like Mageller. But if I'm in a good mood and I'm, you know, feeling in love, I'm gonna listen to like Mariner's Apartment Complex or like Put Me in a Movie. Favorite all-time song by Lana that I, no matter what mood, probably Ride. Favorite Sanrio character? My Melody, duh. Favorite makeup product of all time? And that's an easy question. So everybody asked me, how do I look so dewy or sparkly, or like my boyfriend says, why does my face look wet all the time? Because I use this. It's called Glossier Future Dew. So we've come to the end of the video. I'm sorry if I'm like awkward. I don't ever talk on camera. Yeah, I thought I'd make this like oh, like a tea party, like we're all at a tea party talking, and then like so thank you for watching, if you watched it this far.
Burn!